Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys and it goes a massive way to help the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 59 of Imperium magazine and we get our first part to our new Space Marines, the Space Marine Outriders. Now, with this bit of sprue, in all honesty, you can't even make a full model. You can start making some of it, but I personally, so you don't kind of lose where you are, might wait until next week when we get the other set and we can make all three of them in one go, get going with them, job done, Bob's your uncle. That's my opinion with it, and that's my kind of take on it. I would leave it until next week so you can just build it all in one fell swoop instead of mucking around and having to wait for other bits and potentially losing parts inside of a week. Anyway, into the issue we go. We're of course greeted by the Outriders. So, lightning fast bikers. Space Marines who serve in Outrider squads may have spent many long years mastering their skills as riders. They are able to pilot the bikes at breakneck speeds, outflanking their enemies and driving hard into exposed positions, dealing death with bolt rifles and roaring chainswords. So, the Outriders obviously being these really super skilled bikers. They have their own unique war gear, so they have the twin bolt rifle fixed to the front of the bike. So as they're driving forward, they can start pummeling the enemy with their machine gun fire. They also do carry a heavy bolt pistol as a sidearm as well, so they can utilise it if they require it. And they also utilise the chainsword, so they can use the chainsword to kind of mow down enemies as they go past. Kind of like how in medieval warfare, a horseback rider may use a sword to slice out and just kind of attack and stuff like that. So really cool stuff. Of course as well, you do have a sergeant in this little squad of 3 as well, so you do have a sergeant helmet paint up as well, which will be fixed to the side of a guy who's not wearing a helmet. And yeah, you can get going with that. So really cool stuff. I do quite like these models. They look quite cool. They're bit different. Genuinely, I've always had a weird thing about these Outriders and the kind of the bike riding Space Marines. I don't know what it is, but they always look half decent to me. Maybe just be me and my weird opinion of them, but they're one of the few Space Marine units I actually really kind of like. So yeah, bit different. Then as we move on, of course, you get your battle record on back, so you can give them a squad name, their honorifics using the D6 charts. Then you can also name your actual Outriders themselves for the individual models, including your brother sergeant as well as your other 2, and you can also give them their specialists as well, whether they're zealous killers or maybe even shock troopers. So really cool stuff, and yeah, it gives you a bit extra stuff to it as well, so quite fun as well. So pretty cool stuff. And then we move on, we have another page to do with forces from within the Space Marines, and this is close support. So the Codex Astartes refers to those Space Marines who specialise in melee combat and heavy assault as close support units. These units often serve as the mailed fist with which the killing blow is delivered. A well-timed assault by a close support formation can break the back of almost any foe. So, your close support, we've already had a few of them before because we've had the assault intercessors, which are your most common Space Marines and that are close support squads. They are armed with heavy bolt pistols and the chainswords, sometimes the occasional plasma pistol and stuff like that as well. And they're your most common. We've already had quite a few already, so you can't go wrong with them. And then there is also more types of close support squads as well listed on the back of that page. So of course the Outriders are a close support squad as well as your Invader ATV that we get in later issue, all part of a close support, so pretty cool stuff. But also Reaver squads, which are kind of like your rapid, very fast troops that generally wear very light armour and kind of are mainly utilised to operate stealthily, slaying enemies with their combat knives rather than actually noisy weapons. Your Incursor squads, which are members of a Space Marine Vanguard formations. Incursors go to war clad in Phobos armour, which is the other main armour type that you see quite regularly. They are aggressive light infantry specialised in attacking, harassing and sabotaging enemy infrastructure. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then the Inceptor squads, which are your more heavily geared up, Gravis armoured, big brutes that utilise a lot of kind of bigger weaponry and kind of your more heavy support as well. So really, really cool stuff. And yeah, they're pretty damn cool. So lots of different variation to your Space Marines, which, you know, you didn't really get much of. You had Space Marines and you had the Terminator squads and stuff like that before. Yeah, obviously. You know, 4 different major ground squads and then your vehicles as well on top. Gives you a lot of close support. Then we get a new story as well from the 41st Millennium, the Spearhead. So this one is all about the Necrons rising up from beneath an area planet's crust and only having in their path an Ultramarine strike force and Outriders to face off against for these Necrons. So, you know, pretty tough. And it's a nice little short story as well, which focuses quite heavily on the Outriders as well, which is pretty cool. And then we move on to one of the other war zones in the 41st Millennium, because there are hundreds of thousands to choose from. And this is Villamus. The Red Corsairs are daring raiders. One of their most audacious assaults was the strike on Villamus, fortress monastery of the Marines Errant, a loyalist chapter against whom they held a grudge. So, the Villamus system, the planet Villamus, the only habitable world of the Villamus system, lies between 2 active warp rifts, the Maelstrom and the Siren Storm. Its location makes it a valuable world and the perfect location for a chapter planet. Also, with the assault on Villamus, it was several long years in planning. Lugth Huron and his Red Corsairs has spent these years drawing away the Loyalist Marines by raiding space lanes and pillaging nearby worlds, forcing Marines Errant to undertake counter-piracy missions in this sector. Eventually, this left Villamus garrisoned by little more than a single company of Marines Errant, supported only by chapter serfs. Huron also struck a deal with a band of Night Lords, warriors, known as the Exalted, who formed a vanguard, infiltrating the fortress monastery and disabling its void shields and defense lasers. So, the Red Corsairs are a Chaos Space Marine faction, and I must admit I kind of like their colour scheme. It's black and red. It's very simplistic, but it looks pretty cool. They also did used to be a loyalist chapter known as the Astral Claws, so a little bit of lore behind them there for you, so they are a little bit different. Their Red Corsairs, their symbol is a closed clawed fist, in reference to their personal kind of past, known as being the Astral Claws, and also kind of being a little bit kind of linked to Huron's personal weapon, the bladed power fist known as Tyrant's Claw. And yeah, they have a bit of difference to them, so I do kind of like that colour scheme though. It looks pretty cool and he works pretty well for Chaos Marines, in all honesty. We also do get a bit more information about Huron Blackheart as well, who was obviously the chapter master of the Astral Claws, and then as they returned traitor, he stayed kind of leading them in a lot of ways as well. And then we move on to one of the heroes of the Adeptus Sororitas, Ethereal Stern. So Ethereal Stern, known as the Demonofuge. So Ethereal Stern has battled traitors, mutants, demons and Xenos beyond count in defence of the Imperial Creed. Her skill as a warrior is beyond question, yet accusations of heretical powers manifesting in her presence have cursed her to an existence as an outcast. So, the Demonofuge does operate on her own a lot of the time. So, she was once a seraphim of the order of our martyred lady, and she has been known by many other epithets. The Demonofuge, sainted saviour and heretical, have been known to have been all been used either in praise or condemnation. And yeah, so they do actually remove records of her existence within the kind of sanctuaries as well. So, you know, it's a bit of a well-known secret. Demonofuge was a kind of a novel that came out a long time ago, and the model exists now. Pretty cool one. She does actually utilise and kind of is accompanied by an unlikely companion who is the Eldari known as Kaiganil, or simply the Pariah. Once this warrior was a harlequin of the Laughing God, and he is now a wanderer, an outcast from his own people who was found at his place at Stern's side. So if you do decide to pick up the Demonifuge models, you get 2 models for the price of 1. So you get this Eldari and you get good old Stern herself as well. So really, really cool stuff. And I must admit, I do like that model. It's a really cool one. But I must admit, really, really like it. Just enjoy it. I just think it's a really cool one. Then we move on. We've got a how to build guide. Again, this does actually kind of hint at building all in one go, because we've got that, and then we get the other sprue next week. So, which will make things a lot easier for you to build all 3 of them. But it still goes on with building instructions. So then we get some Space Marine core rules and their stratagems as well, so to help you go through, because we haven't had these yet. So it's going to go through how to utilise certain other bits and pieces, so honour the chapter and much, much more, and how to utilise their abilities and their unique stratagems that you can get going with as well. And then we also get advanced rules for building an army, power ratings and much, much more, and how to utilise your power level as well. So, and you get a bit of a guide on here as well of how to go through it all. So your choice of way of doing it, but this will help you build armies for later games when you're just playing on your own and not utilising the playthrough instructions in the magazine. And then we get our playthrough. So our playthrough gives you an army building opportunity as well. So you will be utilising different example lists depending on how you want to go. So for instance, example list 1 is your Tech Priest Dominus, Canoness, 3 Cataphron Destroyers, 4 Sisters Repentia, 1 Repentia Superior, and 3 Aggressors. And that gives you a power level of 25. Or you can use your Primaris Captain, Primaris Lieutenant, 2 sets of 5 Assault Intercessors and 3 Aggressors, going up against your Necrons in either the shape of a Technomancer, Plasmancer, 5 Immortals, 3 Scarabs, another 3 Scarabs, a Canoptech Spider and Canoptech Wraith, and 2 Canoptech Wraiths. Now that's quite a lot of units. Or you can go with the Overlord, 2 sets of 10 Warriors, 2 Tomb Blades, and 5 Flayed Ones. Either way, you get 25 points going up against each other. It's entirely up to you how you're playing it, but that is a way you kind of goes with it. And then you can list and kind of go for your battle as well. So really, really cool stuff. And it's quite interesting as well. I must admit, kind of like it. It's quite good fun. It looks like it's a pretty decent battle as well. So quite decent in all. And then, of course, we get another look at what's still to come. So we've got a Heliotrope Reactor, we have that Command Barge, we have our ATV, our turrets, we have some pretty cool other units, we have only a few more Necrons, not too many, but quite a few Space Marines involved in this. And then, obviously, what we're getting coming up soon. So, of course, issue 60, we get our other part of our Space Marine Outriders, and the Outrider Paint Guide, as well as rules for them as well. And then issue 61, we get our 3rd and final Tomb Blade model. So keep an eye out for it. Comes in handy, in all honesty. Other news as well, if you haven't checked out my video from last night, by all means you can do so up in the corner now, and it's linked at the end on the back page. There is some news in there, so it's definitely worth checking out. But for now, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.